T-64, a Soviet second-generation main battle tank introduced in the early 1960s, makes up the lion's share of Ukrainian armored units. 5 years ago, these tanks were used in hostilities against Russian occupiers in eastern Ukraine.
At the beginning of 2014, our combat units only had T-64 tanks. We had 2 tank brigades, the 1st and the 17th, and 1 tank battalion in each mechanized brigade.
In 2017, the Ukrainian army managed to modernize a significant part of the Soviet legacy equipment.
Now there is the so-called T-64 model produced in 2017. This is an optimal vehicle with new thermal weapon sights, night vision devices, with modern means of communication, navigation, and sighting devices. Additional blocks of dynamic armor were also installed.
The missile complex Stugna P is able to confront enemy tanks. In 2015, Ukraine launched mass production of these weapons.
Ukrainian developments are not inferior to American ones. Moreover, the range of damage of the Stugna P complex is up to 5 kilometers. The same Javelin complex is 2.5 kilometers away. The control panel for the Stugna P can be placed up to 50 meters away from the complex, making it difficult for the enemy to injure or kill soldiers operating the missile complex.
This weapon replaced the Fagot Soviet missile system. Ukrainian military are actively using new weapons in the combat zone. And this is the BTR-3 armored personnel carrier. It was brought into service by the Ukrainian military in 2015. Ukrainian developers modified this vehicle and took into account suggestions made by combatants.
Концептуально це нова машина, якщо порівнювати з радянською там БТ-60-70-80.
Conceptually, this is a new vehicle. If we compare it with the Soviet armored vehicle BTR 60, 70, and 80, and even the Russian BTR 82, then the main difference is that the engine compartment is located in the middle of the vehicle. The soldiers can leave the armored personnel carrier from the stern. It also has a powerful combat module developed by Ukraine. And there are very different requirements for armor, which can withstand more powerful ammunition compared to the Soviet equipment.
Missile troops were also modernized since the war started in the east of Ukraine. The newest Vilho rocket system started being developed in 2016, based on the Soviet Smerch multiple launch rocket system. In 2018, the Vilho rocket system was put into service and began mass production. Ukrainian samples hit more distant ranges and more precisely than the Soviet technology, as experts say.
Суті полягає в тому, що ми створюємо нові снаряди.
This vehicle has new missiles. Each of them is individually targeted and guided at the final stage of the missile trajectory. Earlier systems would only lead blanketing fire with massive kill zones. Now each missile can be aimed at one or many specific targets in a particular area.
During the 5 years of Russian aggression, Ukraine actively tested new Neptune cruise missiles developed by the Ukrainian military industry. This anti-ship weapon can engage targets at a distance of up to 300 kilometers.
3 modifications of this missile are currently being developed: land-based, ship-based, and air-based. Neptune development will make it possible to minimize the risks of the presence of Russian naval forces in the Azov Sea and the Black Sea Basin.
After testing, this cruise missile is planned to be brought into service by the Ukrainian army by the end of this year. Reported by Artem Holub, UATV.